Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Orcs Head Critty here with you today with a deck tech for my Merfolk standard, which is blue-green. So the idea of this deck is to build a lot of counters on the Merfolk and then use sort of like Herald of Secret Streams as a finisher to get the damage through and then do for lethal. It is a very heavy creature deck. We use very little spells just to sort of support the deck within it, but we mainly use a lot of spells in the sideboard, which we do in game 2 and 3 just to support it. So without further ado, we'll go right to our first creature, which is Jade Bearer. I run 4 of these. It's 1 green, it's a Merfolk Shaman, 1/1, and when Jade Bearer enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target Merfolk you control. Reason this is in the deck is just to build up those counters. It's a nice little 1-drop for what it is, and the fact is we can build stronger with our creatures within the deck very easy and very nicely. Next one, which is a 2-drop, is Deep Root Elite, which is 1 mana, 1 green, so 1/1. When another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target Merfolk you control. So the fact is you can build this up quite nicely and very quickly and do a lot of damage with it very nicely. It's very powerful. It's the main reason I've run 4 of these, because you can chain this with other abilities as well and creating very nice little combos with it. So the next one I run, which is a green-blue, is Merfolk Mistbender. I run 4 of these. It's a Merfolk Shaman, 2/2. Another Merfolk you control get +1/+1. It's a Lord for 2 mana. It's a big yes, and the fact is you can power them up very quickly, and the fact is you can put more of these down and then they buff each other up very nicely. Next one I run is Silver Guild Adept, which is 1 mana, 1 blue. It's a Merfolk Wizard. It's a 2/1, and as an additional cost to casting it, reveal a Merfolk card or from your hand or pay 3. Obviously with this you're going to pay reveal the Merfolk card, and when it enters battlefield, draw a card. Very handy just for card draw, and the fact it's a 2/1 as well is very handy. You wouldn't ever really pay 3. You would only do this with when you've got a Merfolk on the field as well. Next one I run is Jade Light Ranger, which is 1 mana, 2 green. It's a Merfolk Scout, 2/1. When Jade Light enters the battlefield, it explores, then it explores again. An explorer is you reveal a top card. If it's a land, it goes straight into your hand, but if it's a non-creature spell or non-land spell, sorry, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and then you get to put the card back on top or put it into your graveyard, and then because of it you get to repeat the process again. The fact is you can bunk this up really quickly and very nicely. If you're lucky you can bunk it up to a 4/3 immediately, which is very handy, and the fact it's for 3 mana and you can possibly get bunking up to 4/3 is a big yes. Only reason I've run 3 of these is just to keep it, because I feel running I could put an extra one in this deck for it. Next one I run is Forerunner of the Heralds, which is 3 mana, 1 green. It's a 3/2. When it enters battlefield, you may search for a Merfolk card, put it on top of your, reveal it, shuffle your library, then put that card on top of it, and whenever a Merfolk enters battlefield, you put +1/+1 counter on Forerunner of the Herald. Now combo this with Jade Bearer, you can basically buff this creature up with 2 +1/+1 counters, or the fact is you've got a lot of +1 triggers on the trigger. It is very handy and very nice. So we go on to one of our finishes, which is Herald of Secret Streams, which is 3 mana, 1 blue. So 2/3. I run 2 of them. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them can't be blocked. So the fact is when you get this out, you should have plenty of creatures with counters on them, +1/+1 counters on them, so you should be able to swing with them and go straight through the defense and hit him for lethal. He's a very powerful card. I run 2 at the minute, but you could possibly bump it off with 4 and then remove sort of like another 2 creatures, which we're just going to go on to very shortly. But the fact is we use this as the finisher to kill off our opponent. So the next one we run is Seafloor Oracle, which is 2 mana, 2 blue. The Merfolk Wizard, 2/3. Whenever Merfolk you control does combat damage to a player, draw a card. So the fact is we use this for card draw. And the fact is if you can slip the 3 defences, you can get some card draws out of this very quickly and very nicely. So that's it for the creatures. I run about 27 of them. For spells, I run firstly, which is a 1 green, Enter the Unknown. It's a sorcery, target creature you control explores, and then you may play an additional land this turn. Very handy for buffering up creatures, and then finding out what you get in your top draw. But also the fact that you get to play an additional land this turn gives you an edge over your opponent, which is very handy. I run 3 of Spell Pierce, which is 1 blue. It's an instant, counter target non-creature spell, unless it's controlled pays 2. Very handy for targeting anything that hits the Merfolk and stopping them very quickly and very nicely. And but it does not stop the creatures, but for what we're doing, we just want it to stop any spells that hit our creatures. So that's it for spells. For enchantments, I run Hadana's Climb, which is 1 green, 1 blue in a blue. It's a legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your end combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control, and if that creature has 3 or 4 mana counters, transform it, which transforms into Winged Temple of Akara, which lets you add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool, and then 1 green, 1 blue. Target creature you control gains flying, gets +X/+X, until end of turn, and where X is power, and it gets flying as well. So this is another finisher of the deck, and the fact is by the time you transformed it, creature's probably got 6, so you can get to 12 and then fly over their defense and smack him in for the win. It is such a good card, very deadly. Only reason I run 3 of these is because it's a legendary of it. So that's enchantments. For lands, I run 4 Botanical Sanctums, 4 Revolving Wilds, 6 Forest, 6 Islands, and 4 Woodland Stream. And so that is for the main deck. For the sideboard, I run 2 Blossoming Defense, which is 1 green. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 to end the turn, and it also gains hexproof, which is an instant. You use this for obviously blocking any sort of control deck, just to stop them taking out your creatures. I run also 2 of Dive Down, which is 1 blue, which target creature you control gets +0/+3 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Very handy if you know they're trying to damage you and your creatures, and you want to get a bit of extra defense on it. 2 Shaper's Sanctuary, which is 1 green, an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So this is very handy for card draw, and the fact is it makes them think twice before they hit any of your creatures. 1 Spell Pierce, which is just to add a bit of an extra. 2 Negates, which is 1 mana, 1 blue. It's an instant counter target non-creature spell, very handy for against control decks. 2 Crushing Companion Piece, for 2 mana, 1 green, and then you get to choose destroy target creature with flying or destroy target enchantment. Good for getting rid of any annoying flying creatures or any annoying enchantments. 3 Cupola Warden of Waves, which is 1 mana, 2 blue. It's a 2/2. It's a legendary creature Merfolk Wizard, and spells your opponents cast that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 more to cast, and abilities that your opponents activate against any Merfolks you control cost 2 more to activate. This just sort of makes it very hard for your opponent to remove any of your creatures, and the fact is it keeps him out of fatal push range is very easy. Nice, unless they get the revolt trigger off, which is the main reason I run 3 of these. And lastly, 1 of Gatala Primal Hunger, which is 10 mana, 2 green. It's a legendary creature Elder Dinosaur. He's a 12/12 with trample, and when he costs X less, where X is the total power of your creature control. The fact is, if your creatures you control have 10 altogether, power wise, you only got to pay 2 green. He's mainly there just as a finisher of the deck. So that is the deck in general. The idea is just to sort of basically build up counters as much as possible and do a lot of damage very quickly, very nicely. And then obviously you've got your sideboard there just in case they decide to try and against control decks, if control decks try to screw you over. But yeah, any suggestions, please let me know. But other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe us. And apart from that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.